This is Ballroom State of Mind, podcast number 7, Comparison. Hi, friends. It's me. How we doing today? It's been kind of a busy, cruddy week, and the weather's not great, and I'm sick, and everybody's sick, and we're just going to roll with it. We're just going to do the best we can with it this week. But I didn't want to let the week go by without delivering a podcast to you. So I wanted to talk today about comparison. It's something that comes up with my dance clients a ton. And it also comes up with my general life coaching clients for sure. I think as women, especially, we deal with comparison all the time. So I think it's worth addressing here. When it comes to comparison, I think you'll recognize that whenever you compare yourself to someone else, you usually come out on bottom. When you're comparing yourself to someone else, you're deciding who's one up and who's one down. And most of the time, in the cases with my clients, they're always one down. Now, the times that we're one up, I actually would probably refer to as judgment. When we're judging somebody else, we're kind of deciding, I do it better than you, or you're doing it wrong, or you're not doing it well. And so that feels like judgment, actually. But when we're doing comparison, we tend to be one down. And this is why you've heard the saying that comparison is the thief of joy. It's a well-known saying. It's kind of trite, but it is true pretty much all of the time. There's one situation under which I would say it's not a problem, and I'll talk about that later. But for the most part, comparison is not good. You feel like you're one down. It makes you feel negatively about yourself, and it results in negative consequences for you. So I want to talk about it today. I want to address it, and I want to loosen it up for you so that when it comes up for you, you can know that you can just dismiss it and that you don't need to give it importance. All right? Because here's the thing. I don't think comparison's ever going to go away 100%. I think it's kind of subconscious. I think it's evolutionary. I think because we're a tribal species and we're social and we care about being accepted and being a part of the tribe, that we're always checking our value. We're always checking to see how we compare to the people around us, if we're still worthy of being here, if people still want us around, because the tribe meant safety and survival. So I think it's totally normal that we compare ourselves. When that comes up for you, don't judge yourself for it. It's fine. We don't need to make it a bigger problem than it is. It being there isn't a problem. It's when we start to use it against ourselves and it grows that it becomes a problem. So here's what I want to do today. I want to talk about seeds. I want to use this metaphor. I want to talk to you about seeds and plants and the variety in seeds and plants and how that compares to you as a dancer, as a person, and why it's so fruitless, pun intended, to compare yourself. Okay. It's just meaningless. Like, we just need to stop doing it. Okay. So let's talk about seeds. Seeds are so varied. Think of all of the seeds that you can think of. There's so many kinds, so many varieties. We cannot even come close to naming all the different types, right? There's pumpkin seeds, there's strawberry seeds, there's seeds that become weeds, there's seeds that become flowers, there's seeds that become fruit, there's seeds that become bushes, there's seeds that become huge redwoods. Seeds are so different, just like people are so different. Seeds have different growth rates. Some grow very fast, very rapidly. Some grow slow. Some start out fast and come out of the gate quickly, but then slow down and have a more consistent, methodical growth. We can't compare a strawberry seed to a pumpkin seed and say that something's gone wrong. They're just different. This is why you've heard the saying too, that it's like apples and oranges. We just can't compare them. They're just different. The same is true of dancers. They're just different. There's so many different kinds, so many different kinds of bodies, so many different conditions under which dancers are produced, so many different kinds of attitudes, abilities, talents, capabilities. Dancers are just different. We can't compare two dancers. There's no reason to. All right. So let's take this one step further and let's just say that we're talking about one kind of seed. Let's just talk about strawberry seeds. Now, even if we're talking about strawberry seeds, are all strawberry seeds created equal? Are all strawberry seeds the same? Let's talk about the conditions under which they're produced. If I go to the store and I pick up strawberry seeds in a little packet, in the little Walmart display, where did those seeds come from? Who made them? Who created them? What plant, what strawberry plant did this particular bag of seeds come from? Was it produced in a factory? Are these seeds heirloom seeds where they are the closest genetically we can even come to the original strawberry seed, if that were even possible? Because that would change the quality of the seed probably. What are the different conditions under which these seeds can even be produced? And when they were on the way to the store, what happened to them? Were they exposed to heat? There's so many things that can happen to alter these seeds. And the same is true of dancers. What are the conditions under which dancers might be produced? Is this dancer that you're comparing yourself to, were they born of parents who were both dancers, like world-class dancers? Like, is that their genetic stock? Because if that's their genetic stock, then we're talking about something really different than where I came from, right? So what are the conditions under which these dancers were produced? What's their potential? What's their genetic potential? What's their talent potential? What are they capable of? It's all different. We can't compare. Now, let's take these seeds. Let's say that they were produced in the same place. They were produced in the same factory under the same conditions on the same truck. And now they're delivered to me. And now I'm going to put them in the ground. Okay. So now what are the conditions in the ground that these seeds are going to get planted in? Is it very fertile, loose soil? Is it very nutritious, nutrient dense soil? Or is it hard clay soil? Is it on the side of the road where it's scorching hot and the soil is packed and it's gravelly, it's very exposed? Those kinds of things can change what's possible for that seed. The same is true of dancers. Now, let's say we have dancers who are from the same genetic material, sisters or twins. But if they're raised in different environments, different conditions, they're not going to be the same. If you're coming up and you're learning to dance in an area where you have a lot of resources, there's lots of studios, there's lots of coaches and partners and classes and different types of dance available to you, that's a very different situation than somebody who's in a small town, who they may only have one or two options, or they might be self-taught, right? Like, there's so many different conditions under which a dancer can be developed. Now, let's say that those conditions are pretty much the same, but now we're going to nurture the seed. So we have the same seeds in the same conditions that they were produced, planted in the same type of ground, the same type of soil. But now we're going to nurture them. How much time and money can you give to your dancing? This is like how much sunlight, how much water, how much fertilizer is going to be applied to these seeds. And there's not just like some or none. There's lots of varying degrees of those nutrients that those seeds can receive. The same is true of you. There's varying amounts of time and money and attention that we can give dancing. If you're a college student and you have access to all kinds of dance and classes, and you can dance all day if you want, have lots of opportunities, that's a very different way to nurture your dancing than if you're like me, who's a 40-something-year-old mama of four with 3 part-time jobs and not a lot of time to give to dancing like that. They're just different conditions. You might be tempted to think that it's better. It's better to have more time and money. It's better to come from dancing stock where both your parents are world champions. It's better to come from an area where you had lots of access and lots of opportunities, and that would be better than the alternative. But it's not really better. It's just different. And at any of those junctions that we talked about, variations occur. So when you're dancing and you're looking at yourself and you're comparing yourself to another dancer, there's no comparison to be made. There really isn't. Here's something else you need to know, is no matter what that other dancer is doing, it is not relevant to you. It's not. Something about comparison is it involves scarcity. It involves this sort of undercurrent of, it's like there's a pie and there's only so many slices, and that if somebody has a slice of that pie, that slice is not available to me. And that is not true. When we're comparing ourselves, we're deciding we're one down, and so we're lacking in some way, and so we're going to miss out in some way. But it's not true. There's plenty of success to go around. And so if somebody else is succeeding, if somebody else is doing well, it doesn't harm you. It doesn't take anything away from you. It's not relevant to you at all. I promise. If somebody is further along than you, learning faster than you, it doesn't mean you're not going to be successful. It doesn't mean that you can't learn. You're not behind. There's no such thing. Okay. There are so many variables, and at any time, those variables can be different. Did you know that you can be better and get better without it having to do with anyone else? We don't need to compare ourselves to another dancer to decide if we're good or not. We don't need to compare ourselves to another dancer to decide where we stand. You only need to be comparing yourself to who you were yesterday. Compare yourself to who you were last month or last year. That's the only comparison that matters. That's the only comparison that counts. Are you getting better? Are you improving? Your pace is your own. Your results are your own. Your conditions are specific to you, and your job is to make the best of your conditions, not decide that your conditions are not as good as somebody else's. That's pointless. That's irrelevant. You need to do the best that you can with your conditions. That's the only thing you need to be focusing on. Now, I did tell you that there was a time that I think comparison's okay. So let me explain the difference. I think comparison is okay when you're modeling yourself after somebody else. And so here's the difference. When you look at somebody, another dancer, you compare yourself to them and you decide you're one down. You are using that against yourself. You're hurting yourself. Okay. That's the kind we don't like. If you are able to look at another dancer and to see what they are doing, to model yourself after them, and that you're able to not use it against yourself, meaning you just use them as data. What are they doing? How are they moving in that way? What are they doing with their body? How are they spending their time? How are they getting better so quickly? What is their methodology? Because you want to learn from it. You want to adopt it. You want to adapt it to you. What are they not doing? What are they doing that you don't like? Those are the kinds of things that if you look at another person, another dancer, you can learn from them. That can help improve your dancing. And actually, it can improve it pretty quickly. There's a saying that it takes 10,000 hours and 10 years to master anything. But that is greatly reduced if you are able to model yourself after somebody else. That 10,000 hours in that 10 years is tons of trial and error. And if somebody else has eliminated some of that trial and error and we can just learn from what they have done, then we can cut out a lot of that. So if you can look at another dancer and learn from them, do that all day, as long as you're not using it against yourself. I highly recommend that. But if you can't do that, if when you look at another dancer, you're going to use it against yourself, then my recommendation is for now, you don't look and you just remind yourself they're not relevant to me. And when your brain wants to tell you, yeah, but they're better than me and they're faster and they're moving along faster than me. And so I'm behind and I'm not as good and I'm not as talented. I want you to remind yourself, I want you to put a stop to that. And I want you to remind yourself, that's not relevant to me. That dancer is not relevant to me. What they're doing has nothing to do with what I'm doing. Okay. Your job is to do the best you can with your resources and to compare yourself only to who you were yesterday and to get better without having to do anything with anyone else. Okay. That's what I have for you today. I hope this has loosened it up for you a little bit. Comparison is just pointless. Don't do it. Okay. Let's talk again soon. I'll catch you next week. Thanks.